Okay, great. So today I'll be walking you through how you can get on the Next platform. So Next is basically a school management platform. It helps to streamline administrative processes. That is to say, it makes administrative work 10 times easier. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through how the platform works, but in perspective to a teacher's side. So there are three space. So we have the admin space, the teacher space, and of course the student slash parent space. So let's walk through how you can get started. So definitely you hit on get started and it loads up. So I want to sign in. So let me sign in these, and so this is a demo school. So it loads up and loads the dashboard for the demo school. Okay, so this is a demo school that has 19 students, that's 6 teachers, and 12 students, of course 5 classes. So to create a class, you just come, I mean, to create a subject, you come here. To create a class, this is where you get to, and of course you hit on this class. But what I want to do is to log into a teacher so that you guys can go through it at your convenience. So these are different teachers, right? So let me just log in this teacher. And the reason why I'm logging in this teacher is because this teacher is administering 2 classes, right? This one is administering 1 classes, and the teacher is teaching English, business study, agricultural science, geography, and mathematics. So these are the subjects that was assigned to this teacher to take. So let me come here and right here come to login. Right, so let's go to login. So you can log in as students or parents, and of course you can log in as teacher. So let me hit on login as teacher. So you can use your own Gmail that is being provided by the school and the password, right? Or you use the enrollment ID. So we discovered that enrollment ID seems to be the preferred choice by most schools and most teachers. So this is the enrollment ID. Of course, it will be sent by the admin to all the staffs. So I'll come here and pass in that number, that value, and Hula, it logs me in. Okay, so let me need this. So it loads up my screen, and so this is the screen now. So what we're going to do now is, so you can come here to see the students, right? Now daily you're supposed to tick on this. So today is Wednesday, so we could say, okay, we're marking this student present. Maybe the student is absent, so we're marking the student absent, right? So if the student is present, we mark here present. Of course, we mark here present, we mark here present. Now if a student hasn't been marked, you won't see anything here. So that indicates that for today's class, right, this student hasn't been marked regardless of what you can see here. So this is the previous marked, or this is yesterday's marked, right? So I can come here and mark these students absent, or I think I should leave it absent since the rest are present, right? So this is how you take class attendance, right? So once you're done with that, so this is what you do. So let's assume, okay, like this class now, this teacher is administering 2 classes. So you can come here and switch to the next class. So for this class, he only has 1 student, so he can mark that student maybe present or absent, depending on how the case may be. So I can switch it back, or I can switch it back on. So if you come here, you can see your the schedule. So his schedule was just Monday, so only Monday, right? And that's because we've not set up timetable for this, right? But if he has schedule for today, he's going to see that, and of course he would see that in his dashboard as well. So you can see that for this teacher Monday Thursday schedule, he doesn't have anything. So that's it. So if you come to your class, right now, here you would see all the subjects that this class does, which is this. And if I scroll down, you would see, and this was the attendance we marked earlier on from here. So you're going to see the attendance score, and of course you'd see the students and their token as well. So as a class teacher, you're responsible to give the students their own token, even though the admin can, but to make the work easy for the teacher and for the admin, right, it's the teacher's responsibility to do that. So if I scroll down, you would see their timetable, right? So this is the timetable, right? And of course, once it's been populated, you would have more stuffs here. Okay, so if I come down to this part here, so later I would come back here, but here is specifically for exam period, right? So if I come to if I come to subjects here, and you would see all the subjects that this teacher takes, right? Now we have English, which the teacher takes. We have business study, we have agricultural science, geography, and mathematics, as well as the classes that this teacher is taking. So he's taking GS1, is taking GS1 business study. Of course, you would see all the classes here, and I can come here so we can see details of this particular subject, right? So number of quiz that he has set for English, test he has set, assignments, and so on and so forth. So let me come to geography, or business study rather, since it has only one. So if we hit here, it takes us into detailed description of that, right? So he has set an examination, right? And he has just one quiz for this, and it's super simple to set examination. I'll get to that again. So if he wants to set tests, this is where he creates tests, this is where he creates exam, and of course this is where he can record the score, right? And here you can update your profile or view your profile. You can approve students article, you read their article and approved. You can set up your lesson note from here. So these are previous lesson note that has been created, but if you want to create your own lesson notes, you hit here, right? So and there allows you to, so once it loads up, you can add up your lesson notes. Why that is coming up, yeah. So you impute the lesson week, right? What week you're setting this lesson note for, the dates, right? And the class that this lesson note was meant for, the subject, the lesson subjects, topics, and many more. Then the notes, evaluation, presentation, assignments, if need be. Then once you're done with that, you submit it, right? So that's how simple it is, right? And once you do that, if I hit back to this lesson notes, you would see previous lesson notes that has been submitted, right? You'd see them here. Okay, so you can come here, see scheme of work. So this is we try as much as possible to use, and we're still uploading some, right? So majorly scheme of work, right? So that's what we want to have here. So this is for GSS1, this is for GS2, this is for GS3, right? This is for SS1, right? Their own. This is for SS2, and of course for SS3. Okay, so if I come to the store, right, so this is the school's store, so you can see products of the school that you can recommend for teacher, I mean you can recommend for students, and so on and so forth, as well as other stuffs. And let me hit on report card. Of course, there's gallery. So if I come to report card, you'd see um, report card information for the student, right? So they are entering, right? These are their grade, and you can, of course, upload all of this, right? Okay, so for class, right? So if you hit here, it takes you to impute their report sheet score, right? So for there, let's say this student score first test 6. So let me just do 7, 7, let's do 9, let's do 7, and here let's say 46, right? And we hit that. So the score is going to be added and you would see the student score, right? So majorly this is how the work goes, or this is how it runs, right? And remember that I got in here through the class, right? So if I come to the classroom, right, as the class teacher, you can upload the score. However, it's not really your responsibility to do that. It's the subject teacher's responsibility to do that. So for the subject teacher would come here, right? Let's assume for English we hit here. So you come to this point here, right? So once you hit that, it takes you to this point. So at this place you can impute their score. So let's do here. So let's say, okay, he had 3, he had 4, here let's say 5, here 6, and for exam he has 42. So you hit that. So once you do the score, enter, right? So this is you as the subject teacher imputing the score for that subject, right? So that's how simple it is. And of course, settings, you can come to settings to update your name, update things that is required, right? So that's how simple it is for you to navigate through the next platform as a teacher. And it's super flexible, it's super simple, everything is straightforward, right? And so there are points where you interact alongside with the teacher as well as the student. So there's a part where you can make complaints. So I can come here and say, oh, I have, let's say, um, an important issue just occurred, right? So you have your complaint and you can rate the importance of that complaint. So let's say very urgent, right? And you publish, right? So once you send this, it goes to the admin complaint, right? So admin sees that complaint here, so he can click here, and of course while that is loading, you as well can view your complaints, right? So okay, so admin sees that complaint and admin can attend to that complaint. So if admin clicks, let's say, of course, he has to click on mark first, right? But if you come to your own complaint, right? So yeah, so this is your complaint. So since admin has marked it that he has seen it, and here is for the admin to prove that it has been resolved. So you would see the progress of that complaint. If it marks seen, you can mark that, okay, admin have seen that complaint, right? Then if it has been resolved, it marked, then admin would know, oh, this complaint has been resolved. And admin can see catalog of complaints from different persons, but you can only see the complaints that you have made, right? So very important, very important, right? So majorly this is the flow, and of course lastly you have the window. So let me come to student, right? So when the student comes into class, let's come to class. And so when a student comes into class, right, you can clock in that student. Not really as soon as they cross the gate, right, they are in school, you can clock in the student and pass in their ID and clock that student in. So once the student has been clocked in, an email is sent to the parent of the student letting them know that their child is in school. And of course, if the student is going out, right, and on the student, so for example, let me log in that student. So parents can get that mail and as well can access their children portal, right? So they can access their children portal. So if I hit here, okay, so now this student is clocked in, and you can see that for this particular student, he has been clocked in. So here becomes green. So the student gets the mail as well as there's an update on the student's dashboard, right? And if I come back here and hit that, right, so this time around the student has been clocked out, right? And if I come here, you can see that now it's red, indicating that the student is out, right? And of course the parent gets mail as well. So that is the interaction between the teacher and the student. There are more features to come up, and I sure this is well explanatory, and I sure you get the concept. If there be any question, please let me know. More so, okay, I've already explained that the student can see the subjects they are handling on their dashboard. They can see the number of students they have in their class, and they can switch between classes. So for here they have just one student in their class, and for here they have 12 students in their class. And they can come to classroom and they can see the total number of students they have here and switch to that other class. And they can come to attendance, right, and mark attendance of for each student, right? They can update their profile, they can see students article, they can set up lesson notes, right, and they can view scheme of work. They can look at store. Now this store is dependent on the school admin, right? So the school administration uploading products on the store, right? So the school admin adds product on the store. So such a product can be viewed and seen by students or teacher, right? School gallery, they can view the school gallery. They can view report card. Now once this report card has been approved, right, students can now have access to it. And of course they can run psychometric, so they can score students behavioral performance, right? How students communicate, their leadership skill, punctuality, empathy, confident, presentational, hardworking, right, and so on and so forth. Now, once that has been done in the classroom, yeah, so if I go to students and I scroll down here, they can see the report card itself. So if I click here, now if the admin has approved the report card, then they would have access to it. So this is the report card for that class, right, for this particular student, right? So this is the student, right, and you can scroll and see the performance, how the students performed. Scroll down, right, so they can see their average performance, the class highest score, the class lowest score, and what this person scored, right? They can see it in graph charts, right? And so the middle one is their own score, their score, the class highest score and the class lowest score, right? So they can see it here. And so for their psychometric grading, their soft skill, they can see communication, leadership, punctuality, and empathy, right? Their people skill, they can see it here, confidence, and hardworking, presentational, and resilient, right? And physical skill, which is sportsmanship or sportship. They can see their score here. And you would have the principal's signature and the principal's comment, as well as the class teacher own signature. Yeah. Okay, so majorly this is it. And if so, for let me come back to this class, and sorry, let me come to this class and go to the next class. Now for these students, not the report card is not yet ready, so meaning that the school admin or the principal is yet to approve this, right? Yeah. So that's it, right? And the next video I'm going to make for you guys is how can the flow for the admin, right? Okay, guys, I hope this is well explanatory. If there's any question, I'm glad to answer. Thank you.